Now, on this show, we call bullshit so you don't step in it. But it's not official on TV until you make a segment out of it. So this segment is called I Call Bullshit. First up, Michael Myers is back. And the one thing that Murder Mike can't solve with a good old stabbing, online outrage, okay? A recent article that was posted on Pink News, an LGBT site, made the rounds like Brittany Renner at an all-boys college. It said that Halloween villain Michael Myers is homophobic in the new film. No, Mike didn't use a gay slur, I know. He didn't offend anybody with his new Netflix comedy special. He's simply in trouble because Mike kills this gay couple in the film. That's it, a regular horror movie murder. It's not like he came in slicing and dicing and this song was part of the score. I mean, it is a homophobic bop, okay? We have to admit that, all right? Michael Myers being homophobic is complete bullshit, though, all right? Black folks in horror movies been getting killed first before the lights go down in the theater we did, all right? And not once have I seen a horror villain been called racist. And women have been getting killed in horror movies forever. And not once has a horror villain been called sexist. So as far as I'm concerned, this is what diverse representation looks like, all right? A couple that happens to be gay getting murdered in a horror film is not prejudice, it's progress, all right? But as the woke warriors would say, we need to normalize everyone getting killed by Michael Myers, okay? Trans, non-binary, even the questioning, all right? Homicidal inclusion. Everyone should have access to a brutal on-screen death, okay? What else we got? What else we got on the docket? Oh, a U.S. court officially granted cocaine hippos once owned by Pablo Escobar legal personhood status. I don't got to know anything else. This is some bullshit, all right? You're telling me the same U.S. that once called black people 3/5 of a human out here calling a bunch of cocaine hippos whole people, all right? What's next? Are meth mooses gonna start getting priority in the housing lottery? Huh? Some heroin Harambe probably gonna have an easier time voting this year than black Americans, okay? The U.S. declared these cocaine-loving hippos people in an effort to stop Colombians from killing them. One day America will extend, you know, that same grace they gave hippos to Negroes, all right? Hippos making gains, and we can't even get on the endangered species list, all right? Come on, man. Now, in Eat a Dick news, England is dealing with a rise in cases of a flesh-eating STD that causes bleeding. I know. It causes bleeding and beefy red sores on your tallywhacker, okay? All the STDs you gotta worry about, and now there's one that eats your flesh. This is some bullshit. Hear me out, though. Hear me out for a second. Doesn't beefy red sound delicious? It does, okay? But you just gotta know it's gonna eat your ass and not in a fun way. Also, a poll that we completely made up shows 69% of Americans think it's worth risking an STD from a sexy Brit. So if you're gonna risk it all for beefy red, there are two things you gotta use. One, protection, okay? And two, your eyesight, all right? Eyeballs. Comedy Central won't let me show you what the sick dick looks like, but do your Googles later. Some of y'all might be into it, okay? Besides, it wouldn't be the first time a redhead got sucked in the UK, all right? Just please keep our sick and shut-in dicks lifted in prayer, okay? Now, I want to call bullshit on the biggest bullshitters, the Democrats, okay? The death of democracy is upon us, and Don Lemon is flabbergasted over it.
Democrats, get your butts in gear and get passionate about saving this damn country. You're not doing it. You're weak. You are weak. You are weak.
Yes, Don. Yes. The death of democracy has reached America's door like a prime order, and the ones who are supposed to be protecting us are a bunch of frail-ass, shook-ass, punk-ass, cowardly donkeys, okay? When I say the end of democracy is near, you might be thinking to yourselves, oh, Lenard's finally lost it. All right, Charlamagne is gonna be wearing a tinfoil fitted cap by the end of this episode. But hear me out. You see, the end of democracy will happen if these 4 things don't happen. First, you gotta get rid of the filibuster so you can govern, okay? Yes. I know you're wondering, I know you're asking, but Uncle Charla, who the hell is Phila and why is he a buster? Well, a filibuster is a tactic that allows any senator a chance to prolong, delay, or prevent a vote on a bill through endless debate. You know how you used to try to talk yourself out of an ass whooping as a kid? That's a filibuster. But unlike your mama, the Senate has a shot clock. And when it runs out, that bill gets booted off Capitol Hill so fast you would have thought it refused the vaccine mandate, all right? The second thing you gotta protect is voting rights, okay? And don't nobody know how to block Negroes from voting like the white king Mitch McConnell and his white walkers, all right? But he can't go full evil without the backing of the Supreme Court. And that brings me to the third thing you have to do to save democracy. You gotta pack the Supreme Court, okay? When it comes to putting their people on the court, the Republicans are about as bold as Steve Harvey's stylist, all right? Unc be clean, don't he? Unc be clean now, okay? McConnell blocked Obama from adding a Supreme Court judge during the last 18 months of his presidency, claiming it was too late and unconstitutional, then turned around and slid his pick and nail like a morning after pill in the 72nd hour. That's because gangsters don't play by the rules. They know there ain't no such thing as halfway crooks, but the Democrats are scared to death, scared to look. They shook.
I would not get into court packing. We had 3 justices. Next time around, we lose control. They had 3 justices. We began to lose any credibility for the court has at all.
Cowardly hearts and straight up shook ones. He ain't a crook, son. He's just an elderly shook one, okay? Which brings me to the 4th way to keep the death of democracy from coming. Prosecute the people involved with the insurrection, okay? As of today, only 1 in 4 of the 2,500 insurrectionists have been charged, and no major players have suffered any consequences. In fact, the 45th president filed a lawsuit against the House Select Committee investigating his role in the coup. It's taken the entire might of the government just to hold his homeboy Steve Bannon in contempt, which is wild because we've had contempt for Steve Bannon since like the 99s and the 2000s, okay? And it's not even like he's on trial. He's just on time out for not honoring a subpoena. They were just trying to get him to testify, and he basically told the Democrats to suck my beefy red, all right? That's how confident they are, and why shouldn't they be? The Dems could have been prosecuted the 45th president for 12 counts of obstruction of justice in the Mueller report. There are Republican leaders in office right now who should be prosecuted, but they won't do shit. Democrats say that the last administration and the GOP wrongly think they can get away with everything. And then they get into power and let them get away with everything. And this ain't new. President Obama could have prosecuted George Bush for getting us into an unjust war. But instead, he said he wanted to look forward and not back. I bet you First Lady Michelle know you got to look back at it. And that's the problem, okay? You can't do all that fear-mongering about getting Republicans out of office only to electric slide in and don't do jack shit, okay? Now, some people will say, why should black people care about the death of democracy? It's because while these honky-donkeys keep kicking themselves in their own ass, black people will suffer the worst. Hey, you didn't think we would go there, but we did. Make sure to subscribe to the God's Honest Truth YouTube channel for more original content with yours truly, Charlamagne Tha God. Thank you. You are appreciated.